Thank you for listening to the Dandy Dozen Mini Podcast, which have been posted each day on nwfdailynews.com and are going to continue all the way until Friday, August 28th, which will be the very last Dandy Dozen article that's going to be released, and also is going to be the day that the Northwest Florida Daily News high school football season preview section appears in the print edition of the publication. Wanted to mention two sponsors before we get to the episode with Baker's Jon Beck. First off, wanted to mention the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. They want to remind every single person who's reading and listening there are text message lines and phone lines for people to give tips on any sort of criminal activity to the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. That's 863-TIPS, T-I-P-S, if you want to make a call. And you can also text TIP, T-I-P 214, that's TIP 214, plus the message to crimes. And crime's phone number is 274-637. They have cash rewards up to $500. Again, you can text or call the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office at either of those numbers if you want to give any sort of tip into any sort of criminal activity. Also wanted to mention Andrews Institute. They have free injury evaluations for student athletes each Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. from August 22nd until November 2nd, basically football season or fall sports season. Again, Andrews Institute, free injury evaluations for student athletes. Andrews Institute is one of the top injury preventment and treatment places to go along the Emerald Coast. Devin Golden with the Northwest Florida Daily News here doing the Dandy Dozen Mini Podcast. I got Baker, quarterback Jon Beck, senior, another first-time Dandy Dozen selectee. Congratulations, first.
Appreciate it.
Now I'm going to say this, Monte Bartow, I asked him, what is going to be the strength of this year's team. He plays both ways. He plays middle linebacker and running back, but he said, I'm not the leader of the offense, so I'm going to say defense, but I said, I bet you John would probably say the strength will be the offense. Is that correct?
Yeah, honestly, I think our strength is definitely be our offense.
Last year, you guys, a 20-game win streak happened in the regular season, and we were kind of building that up a lot. Ended against South Walton. You guys got to the second round of the playoffs. Do you consider that, you won a district championship last year, second straight. Do you consider that a disappointing year or a successful year?
That's
a tough question, huh?
As much as I would say that it's a disappointing because 20-game streak record. That's pretty good, but
yeah.
I'd much rather that be gone because pretty much everybody was hanging that over our heads. So it was kind of like something that everybody had to had to look up to.
Really?
I had to try to live up to it.
Okay.
And so I'd much rather that just be out the door. Everybody just just drop it.
I got really just drop it. Just not even talk about it, not even worry about it.
Yeah.
What's the difference last year to this year? Last year's team to this year's team. What do you kind of see as the difference?
That is a tough question. I'd say we lost a couple key players on our line. I can't really say there would be much of a difference. That's a difficult question.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I know you're a year older.
Yeah.
Monte's a year older. Austin Davis is a year older.
Yeah.
As far as drive, as far as pushing and maybe the disappointment from last year and how it ended a little bit earlier than you guys wanted to. I don't know. Does that kind of affect you? Does that kind of push you guys a little bit more for seniors too?
Yeah, it does. Last year we shouldn't have lost to Vernon. We should have beat them. That's my opinion. That's me. But it's definitely a drive because we've been killing it in the weight room, practice. Everything we can do, we do 110%.
Now Monte has the Batman cleats, and I noticed that. And I was like, man, do they both have Batman cleats? Because they kind of look like the same color scheme. But then I was kind of disappointed. Batman or Superman? I got to ask you that question. Who wins?
I don't know. It's difficult.
Because Monte's going to say Batman.
Yeah,
he's got Batman on his cleat. He's got to say Batman, right?
Yeah, he's going to say Batman. I'm going to go against him. I'm going to say Superman. Just because he's got Batman cleats, I'm going to say Superman. He can win.
Are y'all good friends?
Yeah,
you and Monte?
Yeah, we're pretty tight.
I got you. Who's the funniest guy in the locker room?
In the locker room?
Whole locker room.
I don't know. We got a lineman. His name's Bubba Ellis. I'm sure you heard of him.
Bubba Ellis.
That dude, he's a character. If you get him on a subject about Coach Williams, our lineman coach, He'll make you die loud. I mean, he'll make your stomach start hurt because he's laughing so hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's most serious?
Serious. When it comes down to being on the field and being serious at practice, it's probably me and Austin Davis.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, Monte, he's right there with us too. But I mean, in the locker room, I mean, we kind of let things, slide a little bit because you're getting out of the mentality of coming off the field, Okay. But I mean, field wise, yeah, it's.
Who's the fastest? Can't say yourself.
Actually, me and Austin Davis. I mean, our 40s are pretty much the same. I mean,
Really?
He ran. I think he broke a 4.4. I want to say he broke. He
Really?
was like a 4.49.
Is he the fastest on the team? You think?
I'd say me and him are pretty close. I mean, he's gonna say he's faster, but I'm gonna say we're close because I mean, like about 4 months ago, we ran the same exact 40 time.
Who's the strongest?
He is.
You think Austin's the strongest in the whole team?
Oh, not on
whole
the strong
team.
team. No. Dakota Blackburn.
Dakota Blackburn.
Yeah, he benches like 340. Squats like 560.
Really?
Yeah, he cleans almost 300.
Who would you look at the schedule this year? Who do you get most excited to play? I mean, you're always excited, right? You get to play football. It's always fun. Who are you most excited to play, though? Like, who do you certainly? Oh, I'm circling that name. That's gonna be fun.
Walton.
Why? I mean, I'm excited for that game. Like, why? You explain it. Tell me why I need to be, because I know I am. I just can't put a finger on it. Why am I so excited for that game?
I mean, normally you think we get excited about Northview or Jay or something like that, but I mean,
because y'all didn't play him last year. Y'all didn't play him.
We didn't play last year. Well, we could. We didn't have our schedule was pretty much full, and then everybody backed out on us because we were just crushing them.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. I mean, y'all wrote about it. I think about it on the paper, but I think the drive to want to play Walt. They're a bigger school.
They're good.
They're good, and I mean they're gonna give us competition because I mean if we play bigger schools and have more competition, that's gonna really help us in the long run, like playoff state championship. By that time,
I got you.
And I think we got shot at them.
You got a shot at them. All right. What do you think is the perception that people? And this is the last question. What is the perception that people have outside of Baker when they think of Baker? I mean, it's a small school, but it's got a winning tradition. The most state championships of any team that we cover. You guys have won. I think it's 4. Yeah. I think Baker has 4 state championships. What is the perception that people outside of Baker have? Do you think? When they talk about Baker.
Oh, I mean, the first thing you come to mind would probably be small school. I mean, we're small, definitely. I think we're not. People don't put us up to our standards where we should be, like ranking us with other schools and where they're at. And I don't think they're putting us where we should be. Because I mean,
do you think you guys don't get as much credit as you should?
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations again, making Danny Dozen, and to be on the list. I know it's a prestigious list. 2 people from Baker, you and Monte Bartow representing. That's obviously some respect, some recognition going to the Gators.